Allie has some questions to get us started around the a landing page build out, basically. Now, first off, please tell me you're building this landing page in HighLevel.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. That's great news, because that to me makes it all the more relevant for everybody. Everybody in here, makes it worth it more for me to dive into a little bit more of like the lead gen Google Ads stuff that we do. It's obviously a little bit separated from the focus of this group, but you building your landing page inside of Go HighLevel, and the fact that you can track all of your conversions from your Google Ads account inside of Go HighLevel, that shit makes it really cool to talk about, in my opinion. So I'm excited to get going.
Sounds good.
Allie, thank you again for asking. Basically, just to recap, what we're looking for, what you're looking for is a little bit of guidance on how to design, like how to optimize your landing page, essentially, how to make sure that your landing page is set up for this type of campaign. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. And then from there, we have some follow-up questions around follow-up, which we'll get into as well. But to start out with, this is actually, it's funny that you bring this up, that you and Katie are asking questions along these same lines. We had somebody, I was just talking to Mike about this. We had somebody last week ask if we had any examples of Google ads that convert well. And I was like, man, I give away a lot of shit for free, but that's definitely not one of those things. No offense, right? But
Yep.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what I would like if this was somebody that, oh, Manny, awesome. Admitting him. Cool. If this was somebody that was coming to me and asking for help, on the Zoom room, like you are, what I would have told him, basically, what I would have showed him is what I did as a loan officer to kind of identify how to set up my landing pages. I'm just going to walk you through that process, because, it would be a disservice to my clients, obviously, to show you, to give you all of our secrets away for free, and make it harder for us to get results for them. But there's, the secret is that there's not really a secret. The secret is that there are companies out there that are really, really good at this shit, that we know are really, really good at this shit, as in lead generation, online lead generation, and we can model what they're doing as long as we know where to look. So I will start by sharing my screen really quick. We're going to go to Google. We're running Google ads, so it makes it really easy to identify, okay, where should we be looking as far as what to model. Now, one place that loan officers and marketers alike really screw up when it comes to Google ads is not understanding how people use Google nowadays. So traditional Google ads knowledge and Google ads management revolved around picking specific keywords and trying to identify the keywords with the most intent, and then bidding on those keywords. And then if those keywords ended up being too expensive, you would essentially try and find other keyword combinations, further up in the funnel that might be cheaper, that might have less competition or whatever. Or maybe you would niche down and you would say, okay, maybe home loan, loan officer near me is $20 a click, but VA home loan options might be $4 a click or whatever, right? And that's how this worked for decades. I say decades like that, a little bit of an exaggeration, because Google only came around like 2001, so decades is in like literally 2 decades. But that's how people thought of how we use Google. However, something changed back in, I would say, like 2015, 2016, and how Google indexed their search results. And it made it so that Google was way, way, way more effective at producing the results that people were looking for. And that ultimately has made us lazy. And so where we used to, I don't know if you guys remember like Google searching back in like 2005, 2006, when you used to have to use like quotation marks and plus signs and minus signs to like dial in the perfect search to get what you're looking for. Otherwise you'd get a bunch of irrelevant shit in your, in your feed, basically, right? Or in your search results is a better way to put that. Nowadays we don't do any of that. And we never mentally we never marked in our heads when that shift took place, but over time we just got more and more used to giving Google less information and yet getting more relevant search results. So whereas we used to search something like loan officer near me because we had mortgage related questions and we knew that a loan officer was the person to answer those questions, and so we were basically making mental connections in our brain to say, okay, loan officer near me, that's what my search should be. Nowadays, we're reflexively searching on Google before we get to that point, like before we've connected all those dots. So when the initial question pops in our head of how much down payment do I need? How much bank do I need in my bank? Or how much money do I need in my bank account? What credit score do I need? What interest rate will I qualify for? What loan program will I qualify for? All these long tail long tail keywords basically is like the technical term for them, but basically they are search terms that are like just word vomit. Like, and it's how we use Google. I always use the example when I'm talking about this, looking at like your car breaking down. Okay. 10 years ago, if you went to start your car and it made a super loud clunking noise, and then smoke started coming out of the hood, and the smoke was pink and smelled like sulfur, right? Like super distinct sulfur, right? 10 years ago, the first thing that we're doing is we're looking for a mechanic that we can trust to talk to about this. So whether it's we're looking on, in the phone book, right? For some people 10 years ago, or Googling mechanics near me and looking at reviews and comparing reviews from them and whatnot. This was how we shopped. This is how we like access that information. The first step that we took was to find the expert 10 years ago. Nowadays, for 80% of people, there's a new step that's involved before that step. And that step is trying to self-diagnose the issue. That step is punching into Google, pink smoke smells like sulfur coming out of car. What's wrong, right? Like, because we all want to be educated before we talk to the expert. We all want to, like, we don't want to go into that conversation blind. And so, like, because of our smartphones and how much information that we have at our fingertips, like the average person feels more empowered and the average person feels smarter and feels like they should be more educated when they go into a conversation about their finances. And so these are the searches that people search for. And this is where we should start. How much house can I qualify for? How much down payment do I need? What credit score do I need? Whatever, right? And then our work starts, right? Then we start looking at, okay, who's good at this shit? Who does this well? Okay, NerdWallet, MyFICO, these are big names, but they're not the best in consumer direct mortgage lead gen. They're just big names that also happen to be generating leads. What we're looking for is we're looking for like a Rocket Mortgage or Quicken Loans or Veterans United potentially. And we're only looking for sponsored ads. We don't care about any of the organic search results, because what it took to rank organically is not going to be optimized to convert paid traffic. Right. So how much house can I afford? This is the first organic search result. What bank rate had to do to get this page to rank organically is going to be counter to what needs to be done in order to squeeze them and get them to fill out a form. So we need to make sure that we're only looking at sponsored ads in this. So I didn't see any right off the bat. Let's open up NerdWallet and MyFICO. Again, these are super well-funded companies where it's going to make, like looking at what they're doing is going to make sense, especially if we can't find anything else. But then we're just going to keep going. How much house can I afford? And again, we're going to scroll past. We're looking for sponsored, the word sponsored. So we got best online mortgages, top 10 best lenders. These are going to be what we call affiliate sites, like a rate table type thing. We got Embrace Home Loans. Okay, ICCU. All right, so I'm not seeing any Veterans United right now. What if I go, can I qualify for a home loan? And I'm just going to keep going. Like the thing about this is you could see completely different ads when you search this, because Google matches ads to the person that's searching. So I'm logged in right now. Google knows who I am, and Google's going to show me ads that it thinks that I'm more likely to click on. So it might only take you one search before you see Quicken Loans and Veterans United on here. We've got SoFi, is another name that's pretty big in the space. And like I said, all I'm doing is I'm looking for commonalities for one. And then I'm also looking at the overall experience of the page and making sure that it's something that I can replicate. So what I mean by this, if we look at NerdWallet is essentially an affiliate site. And so when we go here, they've got links to 5 or 6 different lenders. If you're advertising for one loan officer, or if you're one loan officer advertising your own business, this is not an experience that you can recreate. This is not what you should be looking at. So as soon as I land on a page like this, I'm exiting out going, okay, this isn't what we're looking for. Okay. My FICO, right? They've got a calculator on the page. Again, it was on the fence as to whether or not we were even going to look at this one. When I look at this, I'm going, no, this is I can't recreate this logically. And so I'm exiting out. This one I can recreate. This one's a pretty simple landing page. This one's got, a little banner at the top, limited navigation options. You've got a call to action right here. That's view your rate. What happens when I click on that? What does it do? Perfect. It's a form. Awesome. I can definitely recreate this. And SoFi has enough money behind this campaign that I know that even if it's not the best results, that they're probably at least profitable with this. So this would be a good starting point. But again, I want to triangulate this information. I don't want to find just one landing page that looks like it could be usable. I want to find other ones. So what if I just go straight for it? Quicken Loans, more home loan. Awesome. All right, now we get Rocket Mortgage. Now we get Quicken Loans. That's what we're looking for. What if I do Zillow home loans? Boom. Love to see it. Okay. Now we're working with the big bucks. Now we're talking about like Rocket Mortgage is the #1 lead buyer and lead generator in the world when it comes to mortgages. This is a good place to start as far as how to optimize your landing page experience. Rocket Mortgage and Quicken Loans, look, they're doing the same exact thing with just a different logo slapped up here, just a different DBA, but it's the same exact one. So if they're running ads to Quicken Loans and Rocket Mortgage running this exact same approach, again, this is probably a good place to start as far as making sure I'm modeling the right landing pages when I'm building mine out. Okay. So Rocket Mortgage, Zillow home loans, right? Zillow home loans has a little bit different action going on here, a little bit more like SoFi's. So again, I'm just going to take my favorite pieces of each of these. And the cool thing about this, and now Ali, I'm going to show you this. I'm sure you already know, but what I wanted to show you is if we go into sites here, if you create your landing page as a funnel instead of as a page and a website, you get the ability to run split tests. So this is an example of a split test that we're running right now. So this is driving traffic to for our core product, right? Our lead generation service. We essentially dictate the domain here, and this is the domain that we take and we put it where we're wanting to drive the ad. So this is the domain that we would put in our Google ads and our Facebook ads or whatever, but the actual domains vary. And what's happening is behind the scenes, see core 2, core 3, those are the different landing page variations. Behind the scenes, HighLevel's taking the traffic that's coming to this right here, and it's going to divvy it up based on my split that I define right here and allow me to test different things. So what I'm testing here, I'm just testing the call to action button. That's all I'm testing here. So if I go in here, on this one, our call to action button here, let me preview it there. Preview it here so that you guys can see what we're doing. Request a live demo. And on this one, see how it works. Okay. I show you this because you don't need to spend a whole lot of time dialing in the perfect landing page up front. Okay. What you need to do is you need to find your non-negotiables, right? So looking at a handful of successful companies in mortgage lead gen, what are they all doing that somebody who's not as successful isn't doing, right? If you can identify those things, those are your non-negotiables. Put together a page, and then if you have questions about specific components of the page and how it can perform, control your variables and split test all day, all day, all day. What does that mean? Control your variables. That means if I'm running a split test, I'm only testing one thing. I'm not going to put a different video on this page, a different headline on this page, and different call to action text on this page. I'm split testing one thing. I just want to know what button works better, see how it works, or request a live demo. Okay. Allie, this was for you. I saw you take your camera offline. I don't know if you're just like going evil mad scientist behind the scenes, like working on stuff or what, but I want to check in with you and see how valuable this has been for you, if this gives you a good place to start as far as building out your landing page.
Yeah, no, I think this is great. We built a lot of landing pages, obviously for other industries in HighLevel. So that part's easiest. The split testing is something we've never really done, so I'm really interested to start that. But this was very helpful. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Good. Glad to hear. Yeah, the split testing is really cool, and it's something that we've just started doing. Our core clients, our lead generation clients, for a long time, their sites have been hosted outside of Go HighLevel, and for most of our clients, that still is the case. But this split testing feature, along with a myriad of other reasons, but the split testing feature is like the number one motivator for us to get everybody back into HighLevel with their sites, so that we can run those split tests at a high level and identify like, all right, what is the best, the most optimized landing page? And then does that vary geographically? Obviously, we do this across the country. The best performing one in Southern California might look completely different than the best performing landing page in Tennessee. But we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So the next piece that you were looking for a little bit of guidance on was the lead follow-up from there, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you want to elaborate on that at all, or?
I don't even know if it's really a question so much, but we went through your guide, which is so awesome. It has given us a lot
of realtor outreach one.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect.
A ton of insight. So just kind of wanting to kind of confirm the first follow-up is who we are, a little bit about us. Is there anything like, I think where we're getting stuck is like, are we putting out an offer, or is it just this is who we are and we're waiting for a reply? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So first off, with your Google ads, are you guys, I know that the last time we talked, you guys talked about like driving traffic to a specific like group. Is that still what you guys are doing? Or are you guys just going direct response lead generation at this point?
I think we're going direct response lead generation now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because that obviously is going to make a huge difference. The amount of intent that somebody has when they fill out your form is ultimately what should determine what the next step is. And so if I have a group and I've pre-framed properly as far as like who this group is for and who this group isn't for, and by the time somebody fills out a form, they've identified themselves as being like a really good fit for this. Well, then obviously like that first text message should be delivering on that value proposition or on that promise as quickly as possible. Now with direct response lead generation, where it gets a little hairy is that people aren't going online to fill out a loan application. People aren't searching Google so that they could talk to a loan officer. We just talked about how we're kind of hijacking that process. What they're going online to do is they're going online to get questions answered. What they don't understand is that they can't get those questions answered without going through these extra steps, answering these questions thoroughly and having a loan officer look at their situation. And so it's our role to educate them of that. But we also have to be sensitive to why they reached out, and we're going to have to make a transition. We're going to have to make that transition at some point between, hey, I know you reached out for this. I know this isn't exactly what you were looking for, but here's why you should talk to me. And here's what I can do to help you. And so that's kind of the approach that we take with this is like, first off, I will deliver information, like I will deliver information about the individual or the company following up in an email, in the first email, but I will not do that in a first text message, because at the end of the day, like, I want them to know that I'm getting straight to what they wanted. So like, rather than planning it in their head that like, I'm going to try and sell you on why I'm the loan officer you should use, I'm going to go right for it and be like, hey, I got your information. Were you looking for, were you looking for, were you looking to find out how much house you can qualify for, or were you just looking for an idea of the process and requirements? And like, kind of like address the elephant in the room that like, I know you didn't come here to talk to me. So what is it, this or is it this? Right. That's how I'm going to start out. And then in the email, in a first email that goes out right away. Now that's different. Email's a long format. Like, so I can provide information about my company. I can provide links to testimonials and stuff like that in there. But I still, at the beginning of that email, am saying, hey, look, I know that nobody goes online to talk to me. I've been doing this for a long time. This is what I can do to help you, right? This is why I got your information, right? Most people think that they should just be able to put their information into a calculator and have it tell them how much house they can qualify for, right? I might even start with something like that, because odds are that's what they were looking for. So I'll throw something like that out there and be like, unfortunately, that's just not how it works for this reason, and this reason. And that, doing something to humanize. I mean, we do this at scale for a lot of loan officers. And so there are a lot of things that like an individual loan officer could do to personalize and make this better that we just don't have built into our infrastructure, because we couldn't support 75 to 100 loan officers doing that. But like personalized video, I think, if I'm building this out, if I have somebody having me build out a completely custom solution for just them, I'm probably including some personalized video in the follow-up to kind of like, to kind of do the same thing that I was trying to do via text message and email, is like humanize me, acknowledge like my understanding of the gap between what they were looking for and what they're getting, but then sell them on why they should like stick with me anyways, basically. And when I say stick with me anyways, I don't mean stick with me for the long haul. I mean, stick with me for a couple questions, stick with me to get to get what you were looking for, right? If they say they just want to find out how much house they can qualify for, then I'm basically telling them, yeah, I understand how frustrating it is to get your information, shotgun to this many different lenders. That's not going to happen with me. I'm happy to help you. If you got 5 minutes, I can give you exactly what you're looking for. I can give you an idea of what you're qualified for, something like that. Does that make sense, Allie?
Yes. Yeah. No, that's great. The other piece to it, if we are reaching out to the realtor side of things, trying to connect with realtors, what does that look like? I guess we're looking more for the SMS, like with the first text that we send out, just like how brief do we keep it, and how, like what language works?
What's your loan officer's value proposition with the agent? Like what is the first step? Like, what is the first step that they're trying to take with the agent? And what would be the next step that they're trying to take with the agent? Like, what's in it for the agent to work with them?
So I think it's like, because they've had so we have, our loan officer has like a list of realtors they've worked with in the past, but a lot of them are cold now.
Okay.
So I think they're just really trying to reconnect with them and
Okay.
work with them again.
Okay. So this is the first thing and honestly, this is cool, because like, from your perspective, you're thinking, okay, I just need to solve this challenge up front, which is how do I open the door? But really, once you do that, you're going to have another question right behind it, which is, okay, well, how do I transition it to here? And it's because like, you've got to have a reason to reach out. Your LO has to have a reason to reach out, even if it's completely manufactured and like sensationalized, right? And that like you guys, he wants to talk to them about Chat GPT or some shit, right? Like even if it's something like that is not, it doesn't have to be insanely well thought out is what I'm getting at here, but you've got to have, like, I'm not reaching out to somebody without a reason to reach out to them. And once I have that reason, then the context of the rest of the campaign becomes more clear, because now if I have this reason that I want to reach out, now I'm thinking of this in terms of, okay, how do I open up the conversation with an agent to make them receptive to X, right? So again, I'm going to use an example from a local LO that I do some work with. A friend of mine, she's really good at consumer direct marketing, but not direct response lead gen, if that makes sense. She's really good at like social media marketing, really good at, being active inside of community groups on Facebook and stuff, and getting recognized as an expert in those groups, etc. And so one of the things that she does is she offers marketing consultations for agents. She offers like, marketing services for newer agents. So let's use that. Let's just use that as an example. So my value proposition is that I will help you set up automated follow-up for your leads, right? Okay, so that's my value proposition. Well, now when I'm building out this campaign, I'm thinking in terms of, okay, the goal that I want to arrive at is this marketing consultation. What are the steps that make sense in between here and there? Well, first off, one piece of this equation is, what is your lead source? So in your case, sorry, I didn't realize this was kind of in the way there. That's all right. In your case, right, we've got realtors that aren't completely cold. Okay. Realtors that have been worked before, but have gone cold over time. Okay. And so the first step in this campaign is going to look different than if you're getting a completely cold list, right? If you get a completely cold list, then one of the steps that you need, like, you're going to have to ease into it a little bit more depending on the temperature of that realtor list. And so taking the temperature of like, all right, where am I at with these people right now? And where am I trying to go? Then you can build out the steps in the process. And so this might look like the first step is a 15-minute phone call to catch up. So if that's the case, then I know that on that 15-minute phone call, that's when I'm selling them on the consultation. That's when I'm selling them on a face-to-face or a Zoom meeting or whatever, right? And so now I structure my campaign such that all I'm trying to do is get that 15-minute phone call. And so my first text message would be, hey, realtor first name, it's been a while. It's been a while. I hope everything is going well. I've been working a lot on some really cool stuff for my agent partners lately, and I was wondering if you had 15 minutes to talk about it, right? That would be a way to go about it if your list was warmer. Now, if your list was completely cold, then you might do something else. You might do something more like, do something more engagement baity. So you start with the realtor's first name ? And then 2 seconds later, you send out another text message that says, this is blank from company name. I was wondering if you had a few minutes to chat, or I wanted to chat with you about, a property you have under contract, right? Depending on how sleazy you want to get with this. It all depends on where are they now? Where's the list at now? And what is the end game? And I have to have a clear picture of that value proposition, because if all it is like this LO just wants to get on, I mean, we could really simplify this, I suppose, Allie. We could simplify this to like, okay, loan officer doesn't want to articulate their value proposition. They just want 15-minute phone calls with real estate agents. Well, if that's the case, that's easy. We can tee up 15-minute phone calls. It's not going to be insanely effective, because I've got nothing to bait them with. I've got nothing to say, hey, this is what we're doing. This is why I want to talk to you. But if all you want is 15-minute phone calls, and you're assuming that the list coming in is a list of people that should not need a reason to schedule a 15-minute phone call with you, then you can go about it that way. Allie, does that at least give you more context to ask like more questions from there? Or do you feel like you have everything you need?
No, I think that gives me something to go off of now. Sorry, I have
Cool.
my son home this morning and he's going crazy.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
you're
that
good.
gives me something to go off of for sure and to work with. So I appreciate this.
Cool. Cool. Manny, you hopped on, bro. Are you just here, just watching, just learning, listening, or do you have something you want to talk about today?
No, I'm just checking it out, man. Just seeing what you guys got going on this week.
Cool. I appreciate you being on. Has this stuff been helpful to you?
Oh yeah. Always good to continue to learn.
Good shit. Good shit. Rick, I know you said at the beginning of the call you didn't have anything specific. Has anything that we've dove into made you want to explore something else? Ask any follow-up questions or maybe anything that surprised you that we've talked about?
Yeah, man. Thank you. I'm good right now. I like what you're doing and the content and the way you're approaching it. So it's really good.
Cool. Good. Good to hear. Awesome. Well, guys, if that's the case, I'm gonna leave it open again to anybody. We got Ali, Rick, and Manny here. I'll leave it open to ask anything and everything, based on what we talked about today or outside of that. I'll leave it open to you guys one more time, and if not, we'll shut her down and we'll wait for next week for our next questions. Taylor, right on. I see Taylor has a question. Thanks for hopping on, man. I appreciate it. You're muted, but if you want to unmute yourself and ask away, I'm here for you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for doing this. It's interesting. It's like you've changed business models this year, I guess, a little bit.
A little bit. It's more like our lead generation service. Like it's kind of on autopilot. I mean, we've got wait lists in a lot of our markets and are locked up. And so this is like the next evolution. And this is, getting to a point where we can help more loan officers and not just the ones that want to generate leads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I've always, I know you guys do what you do really well. I know a lot of guys that have used you. You've just never had a market open in my preferred area, but appreciate you sharing your expertise. So
My pleasure.
I'm on just the $97 plan, so I don't have A/B testing.
Okay.
And I don't do any pay-per-click Google ads. I only do Facebook.
Okay.
Although I understand the benefit of interruption versus intention, but
Right.
right. It's just Google is way too complex for me. So
I hear you.
but I guess, do you know much about Facebook? Do you do anything on Facebook?
Yeah, so nothing for loan officers, nothing for clients, but we spend probably 15 to 20 grand on Facebook, or 15 to 20 grand a month on Facebook ads, various campaigns and stuff ourselves. So I'm very familiar with the platform. We just don't use it for LOs.
Okay. So that was I had two questions. One was the A/B testing. If I can't do it through HighLevel, have you found that you can do it through Facebook's A/B testing, testing two different landing pages? Does that work just as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I don't know about just as well. I hate Facebook's ad interface. And so like anything I can pull off of that interface, I consider that to be a win. So I don't know if I'd go as far as to say like just as well. I don't know. I really like, the stats interface in here. If I go to stats, not only can I see that initial like split test that I'm running, but I can see every variation that I've retired and the stats for those. And then if I create steps beyond, the real value of a funnel is being able to create steps beyond just one step. So, if we look at one of our like realtor outreach playbook, so we have a thank you page, and then what we're trying to drive an action from there to here. And then that's where this becomes really cool, is being able to see the steps between each of them. And so I think that there's like definitely a lot of benefits to the A/B testing, like funnels and A/B testing. If it's the difference, I'm not familiar with like all the different levels that HighLevel offers. I should be, but I'm assuming like the next step up for you is 497. Is that the next plan?
I think that maybe it's 297. I don't know what plan gets the A/B testing, but I think it's the next step up. And then the other question I had was on landing pages. What's your philosophy on long form, like filling out a survey, multi slides or just
Yeah.
contact info and nurturing, getting, casting a wider net?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great question. I think it depends on what your philosophy and like how your entire funnel is set up. We start getting into like the quality of the leads on Facebook and whether or not you have, like, if you have issues or complaints with that and the amount of time that you spend on those leads, then obviously anything you can do to filter intent or manufacture intent where it doesn't exist by making them fill out this long form, that could be looked at as a win, because it means you talk to less people that don't have that intent. But if you're running Facebook ads, knowing that it might not be the best as far as intent and quality of the lead up front, but it's a play to build your database. It's a play to build people to remarket to and follow up with, then you want to eliminate that as much as possible. One thing that I'll say, going back to this, not to try and upsell you again to HighLevel's next plan, but the one thing I'll say is I think that's a wonderful split test. I don't think there's any, and honestly, I think that's a split test that you would and should and could run without upgrading in HighLevel, that you could just run 2 different landing pages, one with a short form, one with a long form, and kind of manufacture that split test like you alluded to a minute ago. That's what I would do, is I'd split test it, see, okay, how much does it actually improve my conversion rate? And then can I also then on the back end, make sure that those landing pages are going into different workflows. Maybe they're the exact same content, but now I can split test the results as well. I can see, all right, is my response rate better when I use the long form, or is it worse? Or, and kind of gauge the quality of the leads that are coming out the back end as well, even if you're sending them the same automations. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. My workaround right now is the first slide in the survey. First question is, do you want me to just send you info, or do you want to start a rate quote? And then I tag them based on, in my workflow, I've got a branch, I tag them, and I'm just kind of keeping track of how many just want info versus how many, wanted to start a rate quote that way. The same workflow, but just kind of tagging them in sending them down different branches just to see what, which ones are going to convert better ultimately. But
yeah,
I don't know.
and the one thing, the one thing that I'd throw out there with that is, like, be careful with the assumptions you pull from that test, because like what you're testing is not actually like as scientific as what as what you're wanting to test, right? You're wanting to test the difference between short form and long form, but what you're actually testing is who's going to answer this question this specific way and say, yes, I do.
I don't know. I couldn't find it. Thanks for finding it. I just
all right, muted him. We're good. What you're actually testing is like what percentage of people are going to answer this way to this first question of the lead form, and not if the lead form was name, email address, and phone number with nothing else, would they fill it out at a higher rate? So just be careful about the assumptions that you pull from that. I think that is a test that you are running, and you can learn something from it. It's just not going to give you the scientific answer between the 2 approaches that you're trying to test.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool, man. Thank you so much for hopping on. Anything else that I can
No, that's it, man. I'm
cover while here?
gonna
Cool.
be a regular attendee, man. You guys are really delivering some serious value. So thank you.
Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Thanks for being on. I saw Trevor hopped on. Trevor, did you have something that you wanted to ask or something that you wanted to go over, or were you just joining the party?
I just joined on. I just joined the group yesterday, so I'm just catching what I saw you were live. So just checking it out.
Cool,
I'm actually running Google ads and Facebook ads. So
hell yeah.
Got a pretty good campaign going.
Are you running them? Are you running them through funnels or websites built in HighLevel?
Yep. I actually
yeah.
run everything to a landing page that has a short survey. The survey then lands on a booking page where they self-book. 80% of my leads are self-booking.
Awesome. Hell yeah. And are you Are you set up on the Go High Level plan that allows you to set up like funnels and split testing and stuff?
Yeah, I'm on the SaaS program.
Awesome. Awesome. So do you have that? I'm curious, do you have that set up as like a multi-step funnel so that you can see like easily visualize the conversion between each step like I was doing here?
Yeah, but I haven't split tested. So I started with a basic landing page that was on my original website, and then I switched over to the high level landing page once I realized I was getting really good click-through rates, but my conversion was low. So my page was converting at 6% before, and I bumped it up to like 18%. And then again, 80% of the people that are completing my form are booking calls. So I think the 203K niche is actually a perfect niche because these people, after you're talking about a construction loan, just want to buy a house, you know? So, I mean, it's just a good niche to get low cost lead. I think we're spending $9 a lead right now. So, I mean, it's
Okay.
it's awesome.
So you find people that think that they want a 203K, but like that conversation transitions easily into like they just want a house.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the people that are filling out the form are usually above a 620 score, and again, they just want a house. They think they want a construction loan, so it's really I'm able to compete against big spenders because I'm getting more interaction. There, you know, the majority of my competition is sending people to their home website. You know, so it's not even talking about construction loans or anything, any of the pain points of a construction loan.
Amen. Amen. Hell yeah, dude. Awesome. Happy to have you here, and hope that we can pick your brain over time and continue to add value to you as well. I'll keep it in mind. I think that you're one of, I would say, in like the top 10% of like utilizing high level. And so knowing that you're here is good because it makes it so that I can unlock like more shit to talk about and know that it's going to be valuable to somebody, even if it's over the heads of some other people. So
yeah, for sure. Plus
it.
the AI booking bot, I'm using that as well. So I think that obviously helps my booking percentage, but you know, going to the landing page after they opt in, going to the booking calendar page, and then if they don't book, getting followed up with the booking bot again is just, you know, amazing. I'm looking forward to setting up my next campaign, probably on reverse mortgages.
Awesome. Right on. Thank you so much for sharing, man. I appreciate it. Is there anything that you're seeing, any like questions or like roadblocks, hurdles, or anything? I mean, obviously you're doing this at a high level, so I don't want to assume that I can fix it, but
time management.
Time management.
I need to duplicate myself.
Yeah. Go high level can be a wormhole, man. You like get in, and then next thing you know, you look up, it's 3 hours later and you're like, shit, what was I supposed to be doing again?
That's the hard part. I mean, I've spent a lot of money on snapshots and everything for high level. I actually combined a bunch of them into my own that I run the whole entire mortgage business from processing to everything. So it's been a juggernaut over the past 3 years.
Love it. Love having you here, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Cool, man. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Right on. Well, this was cool, guys. This was I feel like the first glimpse into like what this Zoom room is going to look like. You know, I'm not saying that it's going to be this, you know, that we're going to have this many people every single time, but I can promise you at some point we're going to have 5 times as many people on the call. And so the more engagement we get right now, the more likely you are to get like what you're looking for, what questions you want answered, because, you know, once we have 20, 30 people on this call, it's going to be kind of first come, first serve, and we won't have the ability to hang out and say, hey, anybody else got anything, anything? We'll be out of time. So really, really pumped. I appreciate Taylor, Trevor, Rick, and Allie, all you guys hopping on. Katie, I'm sure you were here in spirit. I know that you and Allie are kind of working together. So really appreciate you guys hopping on and asking your questions and allowing me to kind of pretend to be an expert over here and show you guys what's up. I'm really excited about what the future has for the mortgage industry and Go High Level in particular. That's all I got for you guys. Thanks again for hopping on. Until you guys will hear from me on Thursday with this week's GHL weekly breakdown. But until then, thanks so much for being here, and we'll see you at the top.